Good afternoon. I hope everyone's having a good day today. And it is Monday, so it's time to start thinking ahead and looking each day at what I've learned today. And something that I've learned today is kind of connected with some work I did over the weekend. My students are currently reading the book, The Success Principles for Teens by Jack Canfield and Kent Healy, as we are trying to think about what do students want to do in their lives after high school, what type of tools can they start to develop that will help them to be successful later in life and so forth. And one of those tools is reading this book. And in the course of reading the book, I came across something that they call the Big 101. And basically what it is to come up with a list of 101 things that a person would like to accomplish in his or her lifetime. So I thought, I'm probably going to mention this to my students, that they should work on this and start to lay out some goals and so forth. And I figured if I'm going to do that, or if they're going to do that, I should probably do that myself. So I started to make my list yesterday, and I've come up with 30 so far. So I am getting close to being halfway, but I still obviously have quite a ways to go to get there. And I guess what I'm learning from this is, myself as an adult, I should maybe have an easier time coming up with some of these ideas of what I want to accomplish. And I think sometimes when we ask students to do activities like this, we question, well, geez, why can't you come up with ideas? And I think this is something that I can't ask them to do this in one sitting. I obviously wasn't able to do it in one sitting. I'm still working on it. I do have a long list of places I'd like to visit, which is a good thing to have. But, I think I need to give students time to process, time to think, and give them permission to not complete this in one sitting, and maybe even not complete this year, but to make it something that they're constantly adding to as they continue to grow, as they continue to learn, so forth. And I hope that it becomes a list that they refer to, and that it drives some of their work, and it drives achieving what they'd like to achieve so that they can meet these goals that they've set for themselves. So I guess the wrap up is, I can't expect students to do all of this in one sitting. And, if it's not reasonable for an adult like myself to do that, it's definitely not reasonable for students. And I think it's difficult, even as an adult, to come up with those big goals. I think too often we maybe limit ourselves to what we can do, and we don't always give ourselves opportunities because we put those limits on ourselves. So if you have never read The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, or if you're interested in reading the book, The Success Principles for Teens by Canfield and Kent Healy, I strongly recommend them. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from my students so far, and I hope that it's going to be a book that is going to have an impact not only on this school year, but on the rest of their lives. So I hope you have a good week. I hope it's off to a good start. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.